Hi, my name is Keith Gibson. I'm the owner of Financial Claims Researcher. During this COVID-19 situation, I wanted to take a few minutes just to kind of discuss what my business is all about. I prepared a customer introduction video for new customers and potential customers, just to give them an idea of what this is all about. More than likely, you received a letter in the mail and it said that you have a refund. It's either a letter, email, or a phone call from me stating that you received that you have a refund. And most people, what they'll do is they'll look at that and think, well, it's some kind of scam, some kind of fraud, some kind of junk mail on trying to solicit you for some money or something like that, or for some product. Well, none of those things are true. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm soliciting my business to offer. I'm offering my business. Let's put it that way. I'm offering my business so that we can help you process the refund, and I'll tell you why once we get to it. But what I wanted to do was first kind of give you an idea, where does unclaimed money come from? Because a lot of people don't know where unclaimed money come from and why there's unclaimed money at all. The reason why we have unclaimed money is unclaimed money is based on inactive personal and business accounts, extended inactivity on a personal and business account, or the inability to find the original owners of the account. If an account is inactive or has inactivity between 3 to 7 years and the credit balance remains, the credit balance will be eventually turned over to the government as an escheatment, which will become a refund to the original owner, their family members, or their heirs. So basically, let's say you had an account through E-Trade, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Prudential, MetLife, whoever it may be. You had an account through them and you had a credit balance on there. So with that credit balance, what they'll do, uh, those different type of companies, they'll conform that credit balance into a check. And what they'll do is they'll mail the check to you, mail the check to you as part of their due diligence obligation based on the government. So the government will tell them, okay, as your due diligence obligation, you have to try to find this customer. Well, their way of finding the customer is mailing the check to the old address that they have on file. If the check comes back, they met their due diligence obligation. So then, since they met their due diligence obligation, they're able to turn the money over to the government. But again, they have to try to meet their due diligence obligation based on the government. So they mail the check to you, the check returned, they turned it over to the government. That is what you call an escheatment, basically. What is financial claims researcher? Financial claims researcher is a refund processing agent that works on behalf of a government agency and works on behalf of the government. We are authorized to process refunds for the government and receive a 10% processing fee after the customer received their check. There's over $100 billion in unclaimed money. If you received a letter from financial claims researcher, then there's a 90% probability that you are the rightful owner or rightful family member to the rightful owner. So since the money has been turned over to the government offers small companies like ours the ability to try to find people and get a 10% processing rate. Now the 10% processing rate is can vary based on the government agency. It may be 5% with one government agency, it may be 15% with another, it may be 20%. But the normal is about 10% average the processing fee. Now, here, let's move on to the next one. Now, financial claims researcher credentials. Now, our credentials are been in business for over 20 years, expert in preparing your paperwork so that you are paid on the first attempt, meaning instead of the 200 attempt, you get paid on the first attempt. Trust me, this is not as easy as you may think it is. It's not something that you're just going to submit one document and that's it. There's some paperwork involved as far as you getting your money. Not a lot of paperwork, but if you don't fill it out correctly or if you don't submit the right one, then it'll be hard for you to get paid. But we're experts in preparing the paperwork, so you never have to worry about that. And what we do is we try to get you paid on the first attempt. Over 70% of our customers get paid on the first attempt. Now, there are some customers who don't get paid on the first attempt because they don't submit all the documents as they should. AAA rated with the Better Business Bureau. Now, yes, we're AAA rated with the Better Business Bureau, A plus rated with Business Consumer Alliance, over 90% customer satisfaction rating. Now, normally actually it's 100%, but you'll get some customers, um, they they only get what they're entitled and they want more. So you'll get people who think that they're supposed to get 100% and only find out that they're getting 25%, and sometimes only find out that they're getting 5% of what they're entitled to. So we run into those situations with customers, which bring down our satisfaction rating. We offer step-by-step instructions, so you're never left wondering what to fill out next, because we show you step-by-step how to fill out the forms. Over 90% of the customers we process are paid. So over 90% of the people that comes through us that they want us to process, we get them paid. Well, we get them paid because it is their money. But the thing is, the gap between the processing and getting you paid is the paperwork. So if your paperwork is not right, if it's not correct, then it's going to be hard for you to get paid, no matter if you're entitled or not. We search for additional money for you. So one of the things that we do free for our customers is that we search for additional money. People who try to do it on their own don't realize that there's additional money in the database. Most people don't even know where the database is at. So we search the database for you at no additional charge. Um, we've helped hundreds. Sorry, let's go back. We've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Again, we've been in business for over 20 years. We've helped a lot of people. We've helped people save their homes. We've helped people pay their car note. We've helped people pay their rent. Now, of course, we've helped them. We didn't write the check out, of course. The government agency is the one that's writing out the check, but we got it processed in a timely manner. Testimonials on our websites. Now, the testimonials on our websites is based on the video testimonials. It's based on our customers who all said that they didn't know about the money before they got their check, or before I contacted them. So just like you received a letter or email and it says that you have money. Well, did you know that the money exists before that? Well, all of my customers say that if you go to the video testimonies on my website. The top 10 questions that I get from new customers or potential customers: is this a scam? I got this from every customer that basically went through me to process. Just about everyone, probably about 90% of them that went through me, asked me, is this a scam? Everybody asks, is this a scam? Because again, we're so scam minded in our society, which is understandable because there's a lot of people that's doing a lot of fraud out there. This is not one of them. We are not fraudulent. We are not trying to take advantage of people. And what I did was I made my process scam proof, so you don't have to worry about that. That's the least of your worries. The most that you ever have to worry about in this situation is why am I not paid on time? The only reason why you wouldn't be paid on time is because you didn't submit all the documents. So number two, how did the government get my money? Again, the money was cheated over to you from Wells Fargo, E-Trade, Prudential, MetLife, all those different companies. It was cheated over to the government. How do you know about the money, but I don't? Well, because that is the business that I'm in. I stay in contact with all these different government agencies. They give me information, and they authorize me. Again, they authorize me to find you. You have to be authorized to do this business. Okay, you just can't be anybody who decides they want to do it. Why didn't the government contact me themselves? Well, the reason why the government didn't contact you themselves is because they don't have the manpower to find the millions and millions of people that are owed money. They would have to create an entire department, which they don't have the budget to do that, in order to find these people. So what they do is they allow companies like ours to go out and find people for you. Can I do the refund myself? Yes, you can. Should you do the refund yourself is another question. But yes, you can do the refund yourself. You kind of have to be careful of that because again, you can turn a short process into a long process, and you can turn a first attempt into a 200 attempt. So because you don't know what you're doing, it's not as easy as everybody thinks. It's better just to let the experts do it and let us process the paperwork for you and just pay the 10%. So do I need to submit my social security information? Yes, you do. More than likely, when you open up the account or when the original owner opened up the account, they open it with a social security number. Your Wells Fargo bank account, your Prudential life insurance, your E-Trade account, whatever it was all started with your Social Security information. The only way we can tell one Bob Smith from another Bob Smith is his Social Security information. And the only way that we can verify that you're related to this person is based on your Social Security number. So yes, you have to submit it. Now you don't have to submit it back to me. I'm a third party. You don't have to submit it to me, but you can submit it to the but you have to submit it to the government agency. And we'll get to all that later. Can I donate or transfer the money to a charitable organization or to a family member? Yes, you can. You can donate it to a charitable organization or to a family member. Do I have to pay anything up front? No. We work strictly on the contingency fee basis. Anything that you're paid, we're paid after you get your check. So if you receive a check, we get paid after your check, and we get paid 10% of what the total amount was. So you don't pay us anything up front. We don't need any money up front, anything like that. Everything is on contingency fee. How long does it take to receive the money? Depending on your situation, it can take 1 to 2 months, or it can take 4 to 7 months. If you try to do it on your own, it could take 1 to 5 years for you to do it. And most people give up after a year and a half. Most people who try to do it on their own usually give up after a year and a half. And if you go to some of my video testimonies, you'll hear customers say that they gave up on it. They tried to do it themselves, but they gave up on it because again, it's not as easy as you may think. But if you have a letter of hardship during this COVID-19 thing, if you have a letter of hardship, they would get you paid within 1 to 2 months. On average, though, it's 4 to 7 months to receive your check. So just kind of be aware of that. It's not a quick process because of the fact they have to a lot of it is verification. They have to verify who you are and make sure that you're the rightful person of the money. Because again, it's a government agency, and government agencies are audited by other government agencies. So if they can get penalized for sending the money to the wrong person and send it to somebody that's not entitled to the money. So that's why the verification process takes a long time. I'm on the fixed income. I'm sorry, let's go back. I'm on a fixed income. Can someone else in my family claim the money? Yes, they can. But keep in mind, it is your money. It's not their money. So you will have to submit your information as they will have to submit their information. If you think that by receiving a lump sum of cash is going to affect your fixed income, then have a family member claim it. Somebody that you can trust to claim the money for you, and they give you the cash back. That's all it is. Just have them claim it, because if you think now, what you can do is you can call. I had a customer who had this situation, and they called the Social Security office to see if this will negatively impact their income. And Social Security office, based on that person, said that no, it won't. It won't affect you negatively if you receive money. So do your research. Call them. Don't be afraid to call them, because that's what they're there for, to answer those kind of questions. Top 10 mistakes that potential customers make. Now, one of the top 10 mistakes is that people are afraid to claim their own money. Again, it's not money that I just conjured up out of nowhere. It's money that was a credit balance with another company that was escheated to the government. There's no need to be afraid to claim your own money. Most people are afraid of the outcome of what may happen. But I'm telling you what's going to happen. If you put in a claim, you're going to get your money if you're entitled to it. Again, that's the only way you're going to get it, is if you're entitled. They're not going to pay you if you're not entitled to the money. People won't research it for the money is real. I get people who call me all the time and hang up, but they won't even ask the question. And when you call them back, they're like, "Oh, I dialed you by mistake." Well, at least research if the money is real, because the money is real. I know the money is real. You don't know that I'm real, which I understand that, but the money is real and it's legitimate. It's there. It's not gaining any interest, but it's there. They don't send in all the required documents. So in this situation, you'll have people, you'll tell them, well, you need to mail in your ID and your social. And what they'll do is they'll mail in their ID, but won't mail in their social. Well, and what's going to happen is that the government agency is going to call me and say, hey, Keith, your client did not mail us all the required documents, and we're trying to process it so we can get them paid. Well, in this case, mail in all the documents, because all you're going to do is prolong the process just that much more, and you're just going to wait for your check. If you think somehow they're just going to mail out a check without verifying without doing the full verification to make sure that your social is in line with being the heir or your social is in line with being the original owner, then you're making a big mistake because it's not going to happen. They're not going to mail out a check just on the whim or because you believe you shouldn't submit your social security information. They need that document. They need those information. They need those documents. Trying to claim the money, trying to do the claim yourself. Now, this is not a mistake. Understand? I encourage people to try to do it themselves if they can, if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, I will say don't waste your time because all you're gonna do is going to frustrate yourself. And by the time they finish with you, that little 10% that you would have paid me would have saved you probably a year or two in time. Just trying and all the frustration of dealing with that. But I encourage people if you want to try to do it yourself, go ahead and try to claim it yourself. But should you do it yourself is another question. So in most cases, I would say over 90% of people shouldn't try to do it because of the fact that it's not easy to do and it can be frustrating. Again, go on my website, look at the video testimonies, look at Earl's Brown video testimony, and you'll see where he's saying he tried to do it himself, and 10 years later he didn't get the money. So I don't. For me, I don't have that kind of time to waste. I'd rather just give somebody who's an expert in doing it and just pay them the 10%. I think it's worth 10% if somebody if somebody sends you a letter and tells you that you got money. Hey, you got money today, and that you didn't know that you had yesterday. And I think it's worth 10% for just for that alone. But you have to make that decision yourself. Try to do it themselves, but don't realize they have extra money. Again, a lot of people who do it themselves, they try to do their own claims, and what they don't realize is that they have extra money. They'll submit for that one claim and then find out later, oh, wait a minute, I have extra money? It's like, well, yes, you do. And what we do is we go through the database, we search for our customers, again, for our customers to see if they have extra money. Because everything, sometimes in these databases, they spell the names wrong. Sometimes it's not under Robert, it may be under Bob. It all depends. So try to submit a fraudulent claim. So you'll get people who try to submit a fraudulent claim. Trust me, you're not going to, a fraudulent claim is not going to go through. They got this thing so wrapped up so tight that there's no way that a fraudulent claim can go through. There's no way you can submit a fraudulent claim. Now, there's a difference between a fraudulent claim and a process of elimination. Now, a fraudulent claim is that you knowingly know that you're not the person. A process of elimination is that you don't know that you're the person, but you believe that you're the person. In that case, you can still submit a claim. Submit the claim anyway as a process of elimination. If it's not you, they're not going to pay you out. On a fraudulent claim, now when I say fraudulent claim, don't think that the police are going to come knocking at your door or anything like that. All it means is that they're not going to honor it. That's all it means. They're not going to honor the claim. They're not going to pay you out. That's all it really means. But a process of elimination is a person who has the same name, but they're not sure if this is the person. Well, that's honored. That's totally honored by the government. So they welcome you to submit a process of elimination because they want to get that money off their books and they want to get it to the rightful owners. Okay, wasting time when you know that you're not ready. Now, in this case, this is regarding us because we'll get people who will tell us to mail out information, and a lot of times what they're trying to do, they're trying to get more information out of us to try to do it themselves. Well, that's understandable too. But what it is that a lot of times people who waste time, they waste resources, they waste money, they waste all these other things. When you're ready to collect the money, call us and let us know that you're ready to collect the money. Or if you want to try to do it on your own, then try to do it on your own. But please try not to waste our time by calling us and saying, well, we need you, send me this paperwork, and you never respond. And then when I call you, you don't answer the phone. So, or it's always going to voicemail or something like that. So that's just the kind of things we have to deal with. When you're ready, then you're ready. If you still think this is some kind of scam or you think you're skeptical about something or something don't seem right, then don't call us. Don't call us and ask us to send out anything. When you're ready, come and tell us because we know the money is we know the money is legitimate. We know the money is real. When you're ready, call us and we'll help you with your claim. So the money pretty much will always be there for you, hopefully. And we'll talk about that later. Claiming the money for someone else. Now, in this case, usually these are situations where you have people the original owner is still living, but they're divorced from the person. They're the divorce and they have a child with the person. They think that they're entitled because they were married to this person and they're not married anymore, but that person is still living. Well, in most cases, you're not going to get that money. If that person, let's say it was in your husband's name and John was your husband, and you're divorced John 10 years ago, and you have a kid by job, and you think that John hasn't paid his child support, and you think that I should get the money from John for paying, that type of thing. Well, more likely it's not going to happen because it's based on the entitled person. John is the entitled person in this situation. Now, uh, there are situations where a person, let's say you were married to John in the 70s, and you and John got a divorce in the mid 80s, and John remarried. But let's say when you and John got married in the 70s, John put you down as a beneficiary on his paperwork, well, on his insurance policy, but he never took you off. And let's say John remarried 15 years later to somebody else, but he never took you off the old policy. Well, if something happens to John, that money that you're the beneficiary of, you would be entitled to. The new wife wouldn't be entitled to that money, even though she's married to him at that time. Whoever you make the beneficiary of something will make them entitled, regardless of what your current situation is. So be aware of that. Try to claim the money when the original owner is still living. We kind of already discussed that. People never receive their money because they won't submit a claim. Submit a claim. Get your money. Things are changing in the government. There's rumors about what's going on with unclaimed money in the government, but get your money before it's too late. Um, and it's kind of a warning. I'm not saying that just as some kind of marketing scheme. I'm saying that there's been rumors of things that we're going to talk about later on. How does the process work? Return the authorization voucher. Now, usually with the letter, there's an authorization voucher at the bottom of the letter, or the email. There's a contact us page connected to the email. Just take your time, fill it out, sign it. The authorization voucher is not like when you sign it, it's not a true signature of that you're obligated to anything. It's just saying that you're interested in getting it started. That's all it's saying. Once we receive the authorization voucher, we're going to send you a claimant service agreement. Now, the claimant service agreement is just our agreement stating that it's okay to get 10% after you receive your check, basically. Now, that is an 18-month commitment, meaning that you're giving us 18 months to get the money for you. If we don't get the money for you within 18 months, you can move on to somebody else or something else from that point on. So fill that out, sign it, send it back to us. And then what we're going to do, we're going to send, once we get the claimant service agreement back, we're going to mail out the claim forms. Now, the claim forms, all you need to do is just fill them out, submit all the requested documents, everything, initial some things in there, and make sure you get it notarized. Now, once you get it notarized, anything $1,000 or more has to be notarized. Once you get it notarized, what you do is you're going to mail everything yourself to the government agency. It's not coming back to me. It's not coming back to me. It's going to the government agency, directly to the government agency. And they're going to process it from that point. What I do is I act as your liaison to the government agency. I'll never see your social security number. I'll never see any of that information. But once I act as a liaison for them, I will call them. We'll take care of the processing from that point. Now understand, this is how I made my process scam proof. Number one, I never see your social. Never see your social. Nothing comes back to me. You're mailing the claim forms yourself to the government agency. We're paid after you get your check. We don't get no money up front. You're paid after you receive your check. So what is there to scam you out of? There's nothing to scam you out of. Everything you're doing everything yourself, and nothing is really coming back to me. There's one or two pieces of paperwork that will come back to me, like the claimant service agreement, and there's one form in your claim form that will come back to me. But there's no pertinent information on that. It's just your name, your address, and information like that. But it's nothing real pertinent, like your social, nothing like that. So that kind of information. The pertinent information is going to the government agency. It's not coming back to me. Okay. Again, you have to get the paperwork notarized, and there may be one or two documents in there that you may need to get notarized. And usually, you can take that to the bank. The bank will do notarize that for free for you. Most banks will notarize that for free. I think Wells Fargo will notarize it for free, regardless if you're a customer or not. So you just have to make an appointment with them. Once everything is complete, mail the claim forms. Just mail it yourself to the government agency. Once the government agency gets it, they're going to verify your identity. They're going to make sure that you're related to this person or that you're the original holder of the money, original owner, I'm sorry, original owner of the money. So they're going to make sure of all that. They have to go through a verification process because of the fact that the government agency is audited by other government agencies. That's why they have to send it to the entitled person because they can get penalized for mailing out the wrong check to the wrong person. So they have to verify that you're entitled to the money. Um, Once that's done, that's it. You get your check within 4 to 7 months, unless you got a letter of hardship. The letter of hardship will get you paid within 1 to 2 months. That's pretty much it. So here's some helpful hints in special situations that I run into sometimes. Fixed income, we kind of spoke about that. If you think that it's going to negatively impact by getting a lump sum of money, then have somebody else do it. Have somebody you can trust collect the money for you, and then they give you the cash for it. Otherwise, just call the where you get your fixed income. Just call them and ask them, if I receive a lump sum of money, will this negatively impact my income or my fixed income? And they'll tell you either yes or no. So can't find old address. In this situation, when it says can't find old address, I don't know if you remember I spoke earlier about that companies like E-Trade, Bank of America, whatever the case may be, they sent the check to the file that's on the account or to the address that's on the account. Well, in that situation, you have to prove that address. You have to prove the address, regardless if it's a work address, home address, or doing business address, whatever the case may be. You have to prove that you had a relation or some kind of relations to that address or some kind of connection to that address. Now, the problem is that you're running to people who through escrow companies, people who tried to buy a house. Back in at one time, I don't know if they still do it because I haven't purchased a house in a while. But back at one time, they had what is called good faith money. Good faith money was money put down on a house with the intent to buy, and they held the house for you for a short period of time until you made the decision on whether or not you wanted to keep the house or not, or buy the house or not. So if you didn't buy the house, they kept the good faith money. Well, in a lot of situations, they turned that money over to the government. They gave it to the government. The problem is that you can't truly prove that you lived at that address because you never owned the address. You never owned the address. You never owned the place. You never lived in the place. You never did anything. You're just interested in purchasing it. So it makes it hard to get the money. So if you have the old escrow papers, it helps, or if you're able to contact the escrow company, that helps. The problem is that most people don't hold on to their paperwork in these situations, and also the escrow companies are out of business. So what we have to do is we got to try to figure out something else to try to connect you to the address, because that's the only way that most of these government agencies are going to pay out. They're going to pay you out based on the address that you're connected to, and they're going to need something from you to verify that you were at that address, even though you may not have something at that address. I have customers today who cannot get paid because they can't prove the old address. I had a customer who did the good faith thing, and he had no paperwork for that and wasn't able to pay it. Well, I mean, he wasn't able to get paid because he wasn't able to prove that address. Again, if you have old paperwork based on things that are major, any type of account, insurance policy, escrow, whatever, hold on to that paperwork. Never throw away that paperwork. Put it in the file, throw it in the garage, because you never know when you may need it, especially if it's based on you putting money down. Multiple names on one refund. Now, multiple names on one refund is based on people. Sometimes you'll receive a letter from us, and the people will call us and say, "Wait a minute, it's got me and it's got somebody else, but I don't know this person, or I haven't dealt with this person in a long time." In that situation, what it is usually it's based on a transaction that happened between you two. It could have been an automobile accident. It could have been a real estate deal. It could have been something else going on, maybe a court hearing or some type of situation that's dealing with the court. So bankruptcy case, that kind of stuff. So in that situation, you may see a name on there and you wonder, I don't know who this person is, and immediately some people would take that and say, well, this must be fraud or something because I don't know who that other person is. No, it's just a transaction that happened between you two, and you probably just didn't know the name of the person. Like you get in a car accident, you don't know the full name of the other person in the car accident, or you don't remember the full name of the person in the car accident, and this is the reason why this happened. And so in that situation, if both of your names are showing on the refund, then the check will be split 50%. I have customers who will not claim the money because they think that they're entitled to 100%. Well, that's something that you're gonna have to um, fight it out with the company who made out the check. But more than likely, if it's already turned over to the government, it's a done deal. So really, I wouldn't even waste my time with that. Death certificates. Death certificates, basically any original owner of a death certificate, we need any original owner that has passed on. We need the death certificate of that person, and we also need the death certificate of any other person that's entitled that has passed on. So we're going to need death certificates of that person or those people. And death certificates you can get those at the vital statistic department of any county of which the person passed away in. Again, VITAL statistics department of any county that person passed away in. So if the person passed away in LA County, you can get it in Norwalk, California, because that's where Norwalk is the location where they hold death certificates. Um, Extra money. Now, extra money again is based on us searching for extra money for you. We do that free of charge for our customers. Distant relatives. Now, distant relatives, a lot of people call me and ask me, well, can I claim money for a distant relative? Yes, you can. As long as you can prove either bloodline or you can prove that you're entitled. Entitled by conservatorship, beneficiary, living trust, those type of things, then yes, you can claim money for a distant relative. And I'm going through that right now with a customer where his great aunt, she passed away, didn't have any children, didn't have a husband, which automatically entitles the sisters and brothers of the aunt, that makes them entitled to receive the money. Well, all of them were passed on also, so which makes the nieces and the nephews entitled from that point. So but again, you got to prove bloodline. And we were able to get my customer paid partially, but he's still going for more because he's entitled to more because some of the aunts and uncles didn't have children. So he's entitled to that also. People in prison. Can people in prison claim money? Yes. I processed a person in prison one time. And what he did was, now again, you have to be careful because a lot of these state agencies will try to take the money because that person's in prison. So what he did was he relinquished the money over to a relative to hold for him when he gets out of prison. All required documents. Again, mail in all required documents. Do not hesitate to and don't think about, well, if I don't mail this in, let's see how far I can go. Well, no, don't do that because all you're gonna do is waste time. It's just a waste of time to do all that. They know the system from beginning to end. I mean, you're talking about a system that's been around for 40, 50, 60 years. So it's nothing new to them. And they know people are not going to send all the documents because the person's trying to prove whether or not they're legitimate and all this other stuff. It's legitimate, trust me. It's just a waste of time if you don't send the money in or send the documents in. Going back to the original holder. Now, going back to the original holder is a situation where you'll have people they'll go back to the original holder. Like when I send out a letter or email, it states on there who the original holder of the money was, like Prudential, E Trade, Westinghouse, whatever the case may be. And what they'll do is they'll try to go back to E Trade or Prudential or MetLife or Bank of America and say, "Oh, hey, I got a letter from this guy, and this guy said that I have $6,000 to you." Well, those companies, what they're going to do is they're going to try to pull up the record and they're going to say, well, we don't have anything for you, which they don't. They don't have anything for you because it was turned over to the government. The government now has it. It's not in their system anymore. You're wasting your time if you're calling the original holder to try to find out if the money is still there or not, just because you're trying to avoid a 10% processing fee. No, the money, you can still avoid the 10% processing fee if you want, but the money is not there. It's at the government agency. The only way that you can get the money is through the government agency. And a lot of times, what people do when they don't get the answer they want from these people, they'll think that I'm some kind of fraud or that I'm not real because of the fact that I told them where the money was at, but then they go back there and it's not there. They say, well, wait a minute, this is fraud then. No, the money is at the government agency. That's where it's at. You can't get it from E-Trade, Bank of America, or Wells Fargo anymore. It's already gone from them. Customers think that they got plenty of time. Well, in this situation, again, you do have time. You can collect your money anytime you want to. But there has been rumors. There has been rumors about some of these government agencies trying to pass a Senate bill to keep the money. Why? Because people are not collecting their money like they should. The money is just sitting there. It's not gaining interest. It's not doing anything. But there's been rumors. Again, rumors. I really don't think it's going to pass. But there's been rumors that some of these government agencies are trying to pass a Senate bill so that they can keep your money. I will say get your money as fast as you can. So before anything happens, they already passed a Senate bill, which most of you guys probably don't know. They already passed a Senate bill saying that they're not going to pay interest on the money anymore. So you got to see, dealing with government agencies sometimes, they're not going to tell the public everything of what's going on. See, most people don't know that they already passed that Senate bill. So if they pass this Senate bill, if they pass that Senate bill without you knowing, guess what? They can probably pass another Senate bill without you knowing. So but again, keep thinking that this is some kind of scam or some kind of fraud, and you keep throwing the paperwork into the trash and all this other stuff. You're gonna mess around one day. You're gonna wake up and you're gonna look and say, "Wait a minute, where did my money go?" Now I want to collect my money, but where is it at? Well, the government kept it. They passed a Senate bill saying that they're going to keep it. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. So beneficiaries, again, we kind of spoke about beneficiaries. Sometimes beneficiaries, if if a person makes you the beneficiary of something and they keep you as a beneficiary, no matter what changes in the future, that beneficiary is still entitled over the person that they may be married to in the present. So keep that in mind. Of course, what can you do with your money? Okay. Now, of course, I don't need to tell you what you can do with your money but maybe this is help encourage you to get your money. Pay off your bills, buy a car, especially with this COVID-19 thing going on, people are losing their jobs left and right. This will be some money that you can either give to a person or this person can collect their own money. Invest in real estate, help your child go to college, take a vacation, plan for Christmas, um, offer it as a wedding gift, help others, donate it to charity, do whatever money can buy you. Now, what I wanted to kind of do, I kind of wanted to kind of share my website with you so you can kind of get an idea what it looks like. And I also want to share a testimony with you. Let's go back here. We're going to go back here. And we're going to share a testimony with you in regards to one of my testimonies. But here's my website, www.refundprocessing.com. Now, you'll see at the top left, it'll show unclaimedsolutions.net. I have two domains that go to this particular address. I had the unclaimed solutions, and then when refund processing came up, I decided to go ahead and get that one also. So I have two domains going to one website. So here's my website, kind of give you an idea what it looks like. Here is home. Home just kind of explains why does unclaimed money exist. Here's my chat. If you want to chat anonymously to me, you can go here. Um, Questions and answers right here. If you have questions, you can go here. You can look up things, and I try to answer as best as possible. Testimonials. Here's my video testimonials right here. What we're going to do, well, what I'll do is I'll take a moment. I'll play uh, Earl Brown's testimony. I think his testimony is one of the best ones that it
Hello, my
shows.
name is Earl Brown, and I'm recording this video at the request of Keith Gibson, the financial claims expert, who satisfactorily got me a refund of my money that the Secretary of State had sent me a notice saying I had X number, I think $4,930 worth of unclaimed payments and stuff that had been held by the state that were unduly billed to me or whatever it was. And I'd heard that story, I don't know, 10 years ago, and I responded to it 2 or 3 times. I filled out the application, the paperwork, went through all the rigmarole, and sent it in. I never heard another word, another peep from anyone. At one point in time, I actually thought, well, maybe they just stole my money, used my proof, and then took it. But I never heard anything from them. And then the other day, not the other day, a few months back, I got a message from Keith Gibson, the financial claims expert that you are getting this video from, I'm sure. And in it, he said that he had a phone number there. He said he could get me the money, and he had a phone number. So I called, had a delightful conversation with him. The other ones, I don't think, gave me phone numbers. And so he said he would take care of it. And he said, so next thing I know is I again forget about it. It's been months, and suddenly here, after 4 or 5 months, a check shows up for $4,930. I took a picture of it and told Keith I would write a video, produce a video for him to use for showing to people such as yourself that, hey, he's real, and he is. And but lo and behold, what did I do but lose the damn check? I lost it. So I called Keith up and told him what had happened, and he said, well, no problem, he'd refile. And he did. He refiled. And he asked me, what about the video you promised me? I said, well, I'll get to it after you get the refund to me. It'll be make for a better video, wouldn't it? So he kind of reluctantly agreed that, yeah, it would, but he really wanted some help. It's a tough business he's in. There's so many damn liars out there competing against him. How are you supposed to know he's the real one? Well, I hope I help you a little bit on this. So what happens is today's mail, I got the replacement check, and here it is. Okay, look at the dollar amount there. It's $4,930. And above the box where the money goes, you see the word duplicate. That's the proof that that's the proof this is the duplicate check. So I got it, and it was all because of Richard. I mean, not Richard, but Keith. And I really strongly urge you to follow along with him. He's the man. And also, special thanks, way strong thanks to Keith for not only doing it, but following up again a second time. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck to all of you.
So it gives you an idea. Mr. Brown was skeptical to, at first. He didn't know if I was legit. So he knew the money was there, but he didn't know if I was legit. But we got him processed. We got him paid right away, as you heard. He tried it 10 years ago and didn't go through, and he tried to do it himself. Well, exactly, that's what happens a lot of times with majority of people who try to do it themselves. But here's my information, just in case you have any questions. It's Financial Claims Researcher, P.O. Box 18586, Long Beach, California 90807. My toll-free number, my office number is 866-203-3751. I actually have two cell phones you can try to call. One is 562-537-1834. The other one is 310-345-9514. The 9514 number is the one I use mostly. So occasionally I carry the other cell phone with me, depending on what I need it for. Email unclaimedsolution@gmail.com. Anonymous chat. If you want to just talk to me anonymously, just go to the website, www.refundprocessing.com, and just click on the chat, and we can talk anonymously if you want. So that's pretty much it. I just want to take the time to kind of introduce you to this for new customers, potential customer, because again, they get these letters in the mail, they just throw it away with trash and think that it's not legitimate or it's not real. It is real. The longer you wait to get your money, the longer you're susceptible to losing your money because of what we spoke about earlier. So again, process it as soon as possible. get your money. Don't waste time with it. This is real. It's legitimate. If you don't allow me to do it, do it yourself or allow somebody else to do it. Okay. So you guys have a great day. God bless you. And again, if you have any questions, give me a call. Have a great day. Bye bye.